McAllister's late to dagger, a smash and grab before your very eyes. Liverpool with 3 huge points. Disappointment, disaster, an absolute frustration for Nottingham Forest, who were the best team over the 90 minutes. And I can tell you, I wish he was here with me right now. I was watching the game with my brother before he left, and I said the whole game, this is 1-0 Liverpool, smash and grab all over it. You could just tell by the way the game was going, with Forest being on top but not scoring. And they basically scored 2 late goals, one correctly ruled out for hitting the elbow of McAllister, a rule no one liked, but they had to follow it. And then at the end, was Van Dijk offside? VAR has cleared it. McAllister steps up again, and Forest will feel sick. Liverpool fans will feel over the moon jubilation, as they are obviously in the hunt still for the Champions League spot for next season. They may not feel like they deserved it on performances, but Liverpool fans will not care. And rightfully so. I get why they wouldn't care at this point. I wouldn't care right now. I'd be absolutely over the moon on every single level. I would. A lot of people here claiming that Forest were robbed, but it was off. You've got to tell me where that robbery came from. You can't just say robbed. You have to break. It was onside. We've all seen the footage, right? We've all seen the footage. Where's the robbery? Like, let me know, because maybe I missed it. Was there a foul in the build-up to the goal? Why were they robbed? Why were they robbed? Let us know, please. I'm a United fan. I want to be able to call Liverpool out, but I can't make up a lie. Where were they robbed? Let me know. Let me know. VAR gave it as onside. Semi-automated. Onside. Where else were they robbed? Let me know. If you're calling it out, there's got to be a legitimate reason for it. We can't just say they were robbed and then there's no area where they were robbed. Maybe I'm old-fashioned that way. Maybe I'm old-fashioned in that way. I don't know. But I wouldn't call that one a robbery. That's just my personal opinion. But do us a favor, please, people. Like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, I am a bit gutted. I can't lie. I am gutted that they did that. I'm not shocked they did it. I predicted it. I'm gutted, though. I'm also gutted that I didn't put a bet on it. I really and truly should have put a little cheeky bet on Liverpool nicking that game late, because I just knew they were going to. When you watch football as long as me, and this is, by the way, this is all because I'm an old man, by the way. You know, it's not because I know more about football than your average bear. It's just when you've watched football as long as me, you could just see it was coming. You could see it was coming by the way the game was going. You know, Forest, this is what happens when you're a team the quality of a Forest, that you sort of have, you're only going to get so many opportunities against a team like, even Liverpool not being at their best, you're only going to get so many opportunities in a game. And they had them and they wasted them. They weren't good enough with them. And it always felt like it was coming, to me personally anyway. But you guys may see that a little differently. Can't wait to go through your comments. Got a great number of callers coming very, very soon as well. I'm just updating the thumbnail as well, actually. That's why I'm kind of talking and waffling at the same time here. Let me just update that to a better picture. A super chat here says, so nice he had to do it twice. Favourable next few games in United and Chelsea dropping points right and left and right. UCL football is ours. Manx bottling the UCL. Well, Man United haven't played yet this weekend, so we might drop points to Everton tomorrow, but we haven't played yet, Bird. That's a really weird comment to make. We haven't played yet. Was coming. Forest 0 attacks. Europa, here we come. And do you know what's funny? Quest was in the group chat earlier, and this is why I weren't panicking. And I feel like Quest has upset the football gods here. This is why I weren't panicking. This is why I wasn't worried. And then Liverpool went and did this. You can't write this Liverpool team off. You just can't. You can't. Ekiktke is active in the play. He attempts to get the ball and is miles offside. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Crying in the chat will be legendary. Let's go. You'll never walk alone. Was a massive 3 points. You're right. It was a huge 3 points. Because, look, let's break it down. There's not much to speak about in terms of the game. Liverpool played really poorly today. Overall poor. I think, actually, They had a shaky start, but I thought there was some good defending in the second half from Van Dijk and from Konate. Alisson pulled off some really important saves. Outside of that, I thought Liverpool were poor. I thought Mohamed Salah had maybe the worst game I've ever seen him have in a Liverpool shirt, just ineffective on every single level. It was a poor game. I don't think any real Liverpool fan would deny that. But the 3 points are massive. You just keep going, and you got that done today. Look at the states of these virgins crying in the chat. Liverpool was offside, Premier League rigged for big clubs. Where were they offside? The VAR has proven it to be onside. Where was it offside? Can you show me, please? Ekiktke didn't try to get the ball. What are people saying? No, it was just in an offside position. We were horrific, but defo not a robbery. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a robbery. I mean, smash, again, this is in football terms, smash and grab is a robbery, but not for a bad refereeing decision. It was a smash and grab in the sense of you didn't deserve it, but you got it. But the referees didn't rob Forest today. Referees didn't rob Forest at all. I would love to be able to say they did, but for me, they didn't. People saying Liverpool should watch every bad decision we had this season since the first game here, where Bournemouth player made a clear. Yeah, listen, 100%, 100%. Liverpool were superior today. You'll never walk alone. Now can't wait to see the bottle jobs bottle it even more. I disagree with superior today, but okay, celebrate how you want. I'm a huge Liverpool fan. We were awful, but oh my God, I'll take the win. And listen, this is the fair assessment. This is the correct assessment. I know people go, Terry, an opinion's an opinion. It can't be wrong. Opinions can be wrong. And an opinion that Liverpool were the superior team today is very, very wrong. I don't know who created the view that an opinion can't be wrong. It's kind of weird, right? Particularly when it's like false facts. You know, Forest had more of the chances, more of the XG, more of the shots on target in the game. I feel actually no, you didn't. Actually, that's the one thing that let them know they didn't have the shots on target. But I do feel that Forest were the better team. But outside of that, yeah, I'd be taking the points. I agree with that assessment 100%. Rio did more in 10 minutes than that bum Gakpo. Rio Ngamora and Chiesa did more in 10 minutes than Salah and Gakpo. Let's just have it right. And I'm a big advocate of Mohamed Salah. I can't tell. Listen, I know there was the big kickoff before AFCON. That man's got to ride the bench. Give the kid a chance. Give the kid a chance. Chiesa and Gakpo and Rio should be starting games for Liverpool because Gakpo ineffective and Salah so poor today. I know that's going to upset Husam, but it's the truth. He was very poor today. Very poor. Rio is the big talent and should play more. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one. Yeah, I don't know who started the notion that nobody's opinion can be wrong, though. Like, if you have an opinion, it's my opinion, Terry, that I could survive on Mars without a spacesuit. That opinion, in my view, is wrong. But there we go. Big up, Terry. Slot ball is the cure for insomnia. United pressure on you now for the top four. Listen, there's always pressure on it. It hasn't really changed. Like, if you guys would have dropped them 2 points, it would have helped somewhat. But if we lose tomorrow, we're only level on points with Liverpool. So I wouldn't look at it as, oh my God, United fans should be panicking right now. You know, you've got Villa that are messing up. Chelsea dropped big points. Chelsea got a hard run. I'm gutted that Liverpool won the game as a United fan, but am I allowed to say that? Because I'm not allowed to say I don't want City to win games. Am I allowed to say I don't want Liverpool to win? Or is that now banned by the Peckham Reds? Is that now banned to not like Liverpool either? Because Man United fans have this season of abandoned club tradition to hate on Arsenal. So I need to just check that I'm okay saying that with all you guys. Let me know, please. Terry, look how shit we are without Wirtz. Yeah, listen, I've seen you have games like this season with him in the team. Would you have been better with him in your side? Yes, because he's a very good football player. But this for me is more about slots tactics. And I think maybe Salah, poor, Gakpo, poor. But equally, the way you play, slow and drab. Curtis Jones as well, by the way, I want to mention him. So slow on the ball. Touches it, takes an eternity to do anything. Technically a gifted player, but just very slow in his decision-making. Really, really is. Excuse me. When Isak comes back, we'll be better. Ain't that the end of the season? There we go. Soberslite in midfield. Everyone else at right back slot is doing a Klopp when he played. When he played everyone but defenders at centre back. Yeah, I mean, one thing I didn't check, and maybe I should have done during the game. You've got Robertson on the bench, Gomez. I mean, Gomez should be starting the game, shouldn't he? Just start defenders in defensive positions and put midfielders in midfield positions. The fact that you basically had Curtis Jones starting up high is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. And the fact he lasted 83 minutes as well was an absolute madness. Right, we're going to jump into calls. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time before the North London derby starts. I know everyone wants to go and watch that. First on the show today, Ram is going to be on with us talking Liverpool. Welcome back, mate. Big 3 points. Poor performance in many people in the chat's eyes, but you got it done in the end. A huge smash and grab. Tell us how you feel, mate.
Relief, Brian. Relief. Thank God I don't have to hear my dad moaning about today's game because he's on holiday. Big up, Dad. But relief, absolute relief. We were horrible. First half was horrible. Second half was a little bit better, but still not at the level. And we weren't doing anything. We weren't creating anything. Defensively looked a little bit shaky at times. Midfield was non-existent. You know what, Terry? I'm gonna actually call us Dexter FC from now on, because the guy keeps on making mistakes and then ends up rectifying his own mistakes, but we still end up being poor. Like, is why when I saw that Verts was injured, I was like, okay, cool. Szoboszlai is going to be a midfield. Curtis Jones plays a right back, similar to what he did at Brighton. And lo and behold, I see Szoboszlai at right back, and not in the midfield, when every single Liverpool fan has been telling everybody, play Szoboszlai in midfield. The midfield looks so much weaker without him in midfield. Just play him in midfield. Put whoever at right back. And look, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we got the result. Things hasn't changed for me in terms of performances. Like, we had a couple of good performances the last couple of games, but today, my God, it was bad. It was really, really bad. We couldn't string 5 passes together, which is very, very concerning. Gravenberch, heavy touches. McAllister looks okay at times, but again, not at the level that we expect him to be, especially in the latter stages of the season. Szoboszlai tried to do a couple of stuff, but again, I think he should have started as a midfielder rather than a right back. But at the end of the day, if we play poorly, you get the 3 points. And look, I've already reserved the judgment that we're not going to be playing really nice football, pretty football, dominating football. It's going to be a bit lackluster. So the one thing I'll need at this moment in time is 3 points and getting Champions League football, because we have come to this situation at this moment in time.
Listen, I don't disagree. I think that in the league, you're not going to get much better between now and the end of the season. You may have players that play better, like Wirtz has got better over the course of the season. You know, Szoboszlai has been excellent. But what you do have is a world-class goalkeeper that made saves today. What you do have is players that can win you games. You have game changers.
Oh, I disagree, Terry. Today, he didn't have to do anything. Honest to God, it was...
Didn't he say that? Hang on. Didn't he say that one-on-one where Hudson-Odoi goes through?
Yeah, but other than that, he didn't do anything else.
So the best chance Forest had, he saved it, and he didn't do anything else. What are you talking about?
Again, but the thing is, that again goes back to the idea that I still think Callum Hudson-Odoi in that situation should be doing it better. Should be doing better in that situation. It wasn't like we've seen him do 1v1, amazing 1v1 saves, but that one I would have a little bit more criticism for the striker than giving a lot of praise for Ali. But today, I think we were lucky that Forest didn't have any cutting edge. Like, Igor Jesus didn't look good. I just thought they were huffing and puffing, but the quality, you could see the quality in Forest is just not there. It's just not there at the minute. So I think we were a little bit lucky with that.
One last question I've got for you. Is it time for Mo Salah to start riding the bench for Liverpool?
Yeah. I said this before. We need to change our structure in general. Has been very, very poor. But the most important thing is getting players to play getting the manager to get the players to play at their maximum output. And right now, the maximum output for Salah has not been good enough. And we saw today, Chiesa and Rio came on and did and produced a lot of good moments for us. And I've said this from around about October time. that the diamond is the way forward for Liverpool because we just don't have the personnel that can play on the wings. And for me, Salah doesn't fit that kind of system. He can prove, I think he can prove it if it's in practice, but at this moment in time, his form has just been horrible. I think there's a stat that this is his longest goal drought in his entire career at this moment in time. Longer than what it was at Basel, longer than what it was at Chelsea, and even our bad runs of form at Liverpool is still. This has been his longest goal drought.
It's his longest Premier League goal drought ever, including his run at Chelsea. And look, I'm a fan of Mo Salah as much as I can be as a United supporter. But I'm watching him play, and I know there's a good ball here, a good ball there, but overall, what I watched from Rio and Gamoa in the 10 minutes he was on the football pitch,
so much more.
You've got to give that young man maybe a run of games now. Give him some opportunities because I don't care what Mo Salah done in the past. For you right now, Mo Salah feels more of a hindrance in these games.
He gives a lot more life to the players as well. And he's a player that has no... And one thing about young players that you'll get from them is the fearlessness. They won't care who's in front of them. They'll just take anybody on. And that's the one thing that this team has been lacking. It's always been delegating to the next player, hoping somebody else can do the heavy lifting. But no, no one doesn't want to take any responsibility. But the best thing about young players, they don't care. They really don't care. They just want to show how good a player they are to the fans, to the manager, to everybody. I just on your Joe Gomez thing, the one thing I did when I heard that is Slot did say he wants to manage his minutes because he doesn't want him to get injured because of how poor his fitness been this entire season. He wants to manage him for the time being until we come into the Champions League and FA Cup run of fixtures. So that's the one thing I'll push back on that. So yeah,
that's fair. Ram, always a pleasure, mate. We'll chat again soon, my brother. Speak soon,
good, bro.
Cheers, mate.
Good,
thank you. Tom Little is on with us now. What are you saying, brother?
That was not a very enjoyable football match. You know how Friday I was sitting there going, I think we finally turned the corner. Yeah, it might be the 8th time this year that we've turned the corner just to end up with a U-turn. At least we got the result this time, which hasn't happened at points of the season, but there's just so much structurally wrong with this team at the minute. We got bullied in that midfield for 65, 70 minutes. Absolutely bullied. Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, Sangare, we couldn't get near them. That first half was horrendous. Couldn't play out. Couldn't get anything going. And he should have brought the subs on earlier, but when he brings the subs on, it turns out that when you get a direct winger who's not afraid to beat his man, you can start to threaten low blocks. We don't have that when you play Gakpo and Salah. So when he moans about low blocks this and low blocks that, when you're not using the tool in your arsenal to take down the low block for whatever arbitrary reason you've got, I have no sympathy. The first goal is disallowed, rightly disallowed, by the way. You can't score with your arm. I don't have a gripe with the referee in that situation. I have a gripe with Ekiktke. You've got to be scoring the initial header from 3 yards out, completely unmarked. And there's luck that we got the goal in the 97th minute. Otherwise, I'd have been on here and I would have said that Ekiktke's cost us that game. As it turned out, we got away with it because we got the second chance, which, you know, for about 2 minutes, I thought was going to get taken away from us because the guy was hiding behind Van Dijk. But the semi-automated stepped in and helped us. But I can't sit here right now and be really positive with everything, even though we're now level on points with United and Chelsea, and that puts us, in theory, right back in that mix with the top 4 race. Because this is just another game now where we've played bad and got the result. And that's great to do in moments, and it's great to do in isolation. And to sign a champions when you do it when it's needed. When it's the norm of your season, when this is how you win football matches more often than not, it's a real concern. On another day where Igor Jesus in the first half doesn't decide to wait 7 years and, you know, decide, you know what, I'll take the step first and have the shot first rather than let Van Dijk come back and take it off his feet. But 1-0 down, we probably don't come back into that game. We need to start performing better. The manager needs to stop setting us up incorrectly. It's great that he can correct his mistakes that happen, but how about instead you set us up so the mistakes don't happen at the very start of the game?
Yeah.
Because it's a common theme that every single game, by the 20th minute, we have to change something because his initial setup doesn't work. One time, unlucky. 2 times, coincidence. 3 times, it's now how you manage. And we can't keep that going because that's not sustainable to win at the very top level. So I'm glad we got the 3 points. I'm glad we've capitalised on Chelsea dropping points yesterday. And we're right back in that mix now. But I'm not leaving this game with any more confidence. I'm probably leaving this game damaged on confidence after what I'd had the previous couple of weeks, which were very good performances and results. This was a really poor performance. We massively missed Wirtz in that midfield today because he got injured in the warm-up. We looked so bad without him connecting the attack and defense and midfield. It's like there's a massive gap. You know what we look like today, Terry? We look like Man United under Ten Hag. You know, like you've got your attack and your defense, and then there's just no one in the middle. That's what we look like today. Attack, defense, no middle. And Morgan Gibbs White and Anderson were just flying through it. So I'm happy with the result, but I've got real problems with that performance, and it's not the first time this season that we've said that.
Yeah, listen, I understand. And I think that, as you say, if you're playing brilliant, have a bad game and nick a win, brilliant, have a bad game and nick a win, no one cares. In fact, this reminded me of the Newcastle game at the beginning of the season. But the reaction from Liverpool fans after that game, there was 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people watching. People go, oh my God, love it. Because there was always this feeling that, well, the performances are going to get better. We're going to get back to how we were last year. We're going to be okay. I get that feeling now. There's more of a, all right, I'm happy we won. But this performance, as you just said, I thought maybe we were turning a corner, but we haven't because of the performance. So I get the fear of trepidation there. Listen, Tom, always a pleasure, mate. I'm sure we'll speak in the week on one of the shows. Thanks for jumping on, brother. And I'm about to bring your dad on, Kmack, now, because the hair's looking the same. So speak soon. Speak soon, bro. Cheers, mate. Kmack is here with us now. Tom Little's dad, as you can see. But mate, look, Tom said it earlier. He thought you guys were turning a corner. He's happy with the win, happy with the smash and grab, but overall not with the performance. Do you see it differently to Tom? What's going through your mind right now?
Mate, he said a lot of stuff that I would have said just like I taught him, when he was growing up. That was dreadful. That was utterly dreadful. Like the first half, like there's a stat that's going around that Elliot Anderson had more passes than our entire midfield in the first half. Like we could not touch them. Like they came onto the pitch only having 2 days off from their last game, which was a grueling away game, and they're not used to playing in Europe, and they had more energy than us. How is that? How does that actually happen? Like we could not get near them. Like that is a fundamental problem with when you're coming into a game, that your team doesn't even run enough to get near the opposition. Like they swarmed us all over the park. Like Alisson must have kicked the ball out about 3 times because he had no options, because all our players were just completely marked up. They just went man for man and we could not handle them. Like I genuinely don't know how we won that game, but we have won that game. But this cannot continue. Like this cannot be a Liverpool thing. I don't want this to be a Liverpool thing. Like I do not want us to be the worst playing football team in the league and an absolutely atrocious watch, and we scam a win. Like we can't be scamming wins. Like we have to be dominating a team that's 17th in the table, that's just got a new manager who has his previous team a rock bottom.
What do you make of comments like this, Kmack? So this comment's kind of a challenge to you, saying that it's just a game. It ain't that deep. It was a snatch and grab game, period. No need to be emotional. Do you think that's a fair response, or are you looking at this more bigger picture?
No, because we keep on seeing it. This is a common thing. Like we have the odd good game, and then we are arse for a while. Like as in disjointed. There's no build-up play. Like how on earth Gravenberch carries on getting picked is beyond me. How Cody keeps on getting picked is beyond me. Like Salah was poor. By the way, Salah created the best chance for Curtis Jones. By the way, just going to put that out there. Like he didn't do much else, but he did provide a good chance for Curtis Jones. And their goalie pulled off a decent save. That was like point blank, kind of like Curtis Jones. Like everybody seems to scapegoat Curtis Jones again in this game, saying he was poor, he was this, he was that. Like the guy came in like off the bench when he wasn't supposed to be playing because he probably didn't think he was playing. He was lobbed in because of Wirtz, so he was put in the number 10 position, which he hasn't really played this season at all. Yeah, the rest of the midfield were terrible behind him. He then got moved into the right back position. He then got subbed. Like it's a case of like, what are you doing as this guy? Like, and Tom's absolutely right. Like, this happened last season, by the way. We completely changed the way we played in the second half in most games. And this was a slot masterclass. I'm starting to think this was the manager not being able to set up the team right in the first place and then realizing, hang on a minute, this isn't how they're playing. Well, what have you been doing all week? Like, you're the team that's had the whole time off, but you let your players have 3 days off. Like we're not in a great place right now as a team. Like, we're not playing great football right now, but you keep on giving your guys 3 days off during the week. You keep on giving them time off like they deserve it. They don't deserve it. Like we're battling against Manchester United, Chelsea, and Brentford for a top 5 position. Like, you don't give your guys the time off. You get them on the pitch. You get them on the training pitch more.
I do hear you. I do hear the frustration you have as a fan from that perspective. I do. Kmack, listen, bro, a pleasure. I'll let you go watch the North London derby, and we'll speak again soon, my friend.
See you later, buddy.
Cheers, bro. Thank you. Husam is on with me now. Yes, brother.
Yes, big up. We scammed it.
What kind of mood are you in? Because everyone else has been very depressed at the win. Are you in a better mood?
I mean, to be honest, the performance is depressing, Terry. I mean, you watched today's game. I said I felt bad for all the people who like went to actually watch that game in person because that was dreadful, and we did see it. Second half, I thought we were a lot better. I think putting Szoboszlai in midfield is one of the key things because it made us a lot better as soon as Szoboszlai was in midfield. And I think this is definitely something that we kind of need to try to do as much as possible in terms of, you know, having him be in that midfield because he has been our best player all season long. He's just been incredible for us. And I think him being in midfield added that extra bit of energy. I disagree on anyone doing Elliot Anderson praise today. I think my point was proven on him. I think he's very overrated. I wouldn't take him at Liverpool. I just wouldn't. But I think Virgil Konate played well. And I think Szoboszlai played well in the second half in midfield, and I think McAllister probably because he scored the goal. But other than that, I don't think anyone played well on the pitch. I mean, the sequence before where the first McAllister goal gets ruled off, I have no idea how Ekiktke misses the header from a yard.
Crazy,
I have
right?
no idea. Like, by the way, if Ekiktke scores that, all the stuff after doesn't matter. Like, Ekiktke scores that, it's even an assist for Rio Gomoa. But I think you know, there's so much to change for Liverpool in terms of performance, which is why the people are depressed, Terry, because the context of the game is Forest played 3 days ago. Forest are in the Europa League, where we had a whole week off. And then the first half starts, and you watched it as well, and you're like, what the hell is this?
But that's also why I thought you were going to, well, I didn't think, I knew, and I should have put a little flutter on it because I thought they would fade. And they didn't capitalize. I want to ask you a question. There's a super chat about as well that I'll put up. It says, Jamie Carragher said Rio did more in 15 minutes than Salah and Gakpo did in 77. 100% correct. I want to ask you a question. Is it time for Mo Salah for you to start riding the bench? Because it was another very poor performance from him. You've got Chiesa, a player that you've all been begging to get game time this season. You've got young Rio, who every time he comes on seems to look dangerous. Do you think it's time for Salah and Gakpo, really, to both spend some time on your bench in some upcoming games?
No, I don't think it's time for Mo to spend time on the bench. I think it's time for Gakpo to spend time on the bench. I would personally start Rio Gomo on the next game and play Mo down the right-hand side. I don't think Chiesa really did much when he came on. I think the fact that Mo is 10 years into his Premier League career, has dominated English football, accomplished everything there is to accomplish from an individual and team perspective, and him being washed is still somehow more threatening than someone in his prime is very dangerous. So for me, I'm okay with the Mo going in the summer, but we just have to get an adequate replacement. That's it. So
you still think he's threatening? You still think he's performing in games?
Yeah. I think, no, I wouldn't say he's performing, but he's definitely a threat. I mean, he's a lot more threat than Cody Gakpo is.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's his longest ever goal drought in the Premier League ever.
I know, but he's still a threat. He's still, doing certain stuff on the pitch. At the end of the day, today Chiesa didn't play well, so it's like, this is the Premier League. It's a tough game out there. You've got to be able to perform as soon as you come on the football pitch. I would be willing to try it 100%, like Rio and Chiesa on the next game, but I would still, based off the way that he played against Brighton as well, I would still rather go with Mo. I think we have a lot of conversations to be had, and today, as an example, it's very easy to say Mo and Gakpo. That's why we have to stop scapegoating. It's very easy to say Mo and Gakpo. I think Ekiktke possibly was worse than them both today. Ekiktke for me probably is his worst performance.
I think Gakpo's never going to get the same kind of criticism that Salah gets, because Salah is a much better player, and Ekitike's had a very good season. I'm just watching Mo myself. You know me, I don't attack Mo. I don't have an agenda or anything like that. But I'm watching him play, and he might score a goal. A few games recently, he's had some really good passes where he's created opportunities. But overall, I'm just looking at a player that, if I was an alien that came out of space and have never watched football before, and I watched Mo Salah, I would go, not a Liverpool player. That's for me how below his standard that he is. And for me, had you not got a little fortunate at the end of the game and got that winner, it would have been another game where I'm looking at it and going, if his name wasn't Mo Salah, I think you take him off 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier, and maybe give yourself a better chance to win. And I think that Gakpo similar has got to be off the pitch more. I thought he was poor. I can't believe Curtis Jones was on the pitch for 83 minutes of the game when I thought he was poor. So I'm not just singling them out, but I went with the super chat.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, listen, I'm all for replacing the players. Me and you, I think, hold the clubs and the idea to the same thing. I'm all for replacing players as long as they're improvements and we can get better. I'm all for that. But just from now to the end of the season, he's a Liverpool legend. He still offers some form of threat going forward. Like, he's involved at least. So I would be much more open to dropping Gakpo than dropping him at this moment in time. So
I hear that, bro. Sam, I'll let you shoot, because I know you're doing a watch along for the North London derby. I'll let you crack on with that, and I'm sure we'll speak soon, bro. Cheers, mate.
Speak soon.
Thank you. Rack is on the show with us now. Yes, Rack. It feels like a weird afternoon for Liverpool fans. A really important win, but it does feel more like we're reading obituaries and at a funeral than we are at a wedding. What's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I think even the last game that we won, when last time we won here, everyone was still, despite the fact that we'd won, not super happy. Look, today's performance, as everybody has said, was pretty shocking. I don't mind a bad performance every now and then, as long as it helps you get to your ultimate goal. Well, our ultimate goal is in now the kind of reconsidered goal after the season that we've had, and that's Champions League football. So everybody knows it was a bad performance. We were probably lucky to get the win, but yeah, there's not really much to be said. I'm same again, Terry. I've got not much more to say than the other guys. They've pretty much encapsulated the whole thing. And the main thing is we won, closed the gap on United and Chelsea, and we are now looking in a better position for the Champions League positions. We've got a few more winnable games coming up, and ultimately this will count for nothing. The fact that we've had to put up with these kind of below par performances will count for nothing if we don't go on and win those other games and make it into Champions League football. So that's the priority. It is what it is.
Sorry, I thought Gyökeres and he scored. Sorry, I was watching that game at the same time. I hear you, and your priorities have changed, and you've got to go over the line. As you say, if you win your next 2 or 3 games that are quite favourable in terms of quality on paper, and you play well, I think there'll be a lot less frustration looking back at these performances. But it's, as you say, if you end up doing the Chelsea and you end up dropping points in the games that you maybe should be winning, that's when I think the frustration really boils to the top. And I just want to get your opinion quickly. An ongoing conversation in our chat today has been, should Mo Salah see the bench for a while? Some have said absolutely. You've had sort of Sam said no, he's still an absolute threat in games. Where do you sit on this conversation? Because for a 400k a week player, which he is, although he's a legend, it doesn't feel to me like he's delivering anywhere near what Liverpool need from him at this moment. What would you personally do?
I mean, yeah, he's definitely not delivering what we expect and the standards that he's set up until to this point. Yeah, I can't argue with that assessment. The question is, who have we got who's going to do better across 90 minutes. Rio has looked really good. I mean, most of the time I've seen Rio, he's actually played from the left-hand side. So although he did come on and made an assist for the disallowed goal, or almost an assist for a disallowed goal. I'm not sure if the right-hand side is the position for him. Ultimately, we've just got a load of averagely performing players. So pick your poison. Do you want to go with Gakpo? Sure, maybe that's okay. Maybe Mo's okay. I think the system with Ekiktke up front hasn't really suited Mo. So playing with a conventional striker has taken something away. But ultimately, we can't be dropping Ekiktke. So I don't think it's clear cut. But I don't think I don't think anyone's outstanding. So it's just down to the manager and down to what he thinks on any given day. I don't think Gakpo is going to come in and set the world alight, or Chiesa. He has moments, but Chiesa's not a 90-minute player. He hasn't proved to be a 90-minute player his whole career at Liverpool. So
I agree. And I don't think it's wrong if people want to see something else different. I actually love what you've said there, though. And sometimes I don't always like to be the one that puts suggestions out there. I kind of ask the questions and hope the viewers do it. And you've done it there. The issue that you have is you could drop him, but you might not improve. And we saw you without him for a while with AFCON, and it wasn't as though you were that much better. And I think sometimes football fans have got to realize that a little bit more. We've gone through it at United many, many times. Oh, Pogba ain't performing, drop him for who? Play McTominay. We can't do what Pogba does. Yeah, but he might, but he isn't going to, is he? You know, and then you might get a game where the guy comes in and scores a banger, and see, I told you. But there's that one moment in the game, the rest of it, they were really poor. So, yeah, it's definitely more of a summer address, I think, than it is anything you can do now. But, Rack, listen, bro, I know everyone wants to go and watch the North London derby. The whole world wants to go and watch it, so I'm going to let you shoot off. Viewers, this is going to redirect you to Husam's channel, so go and watch his watch-along. We're live after the North London derby, so get yourselves back here on the terrace. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you soon. Peace.